Get ready.
Hello to the two fans, and welcome back to Chicago Ted with another episode of the Golden Aegis cast series coming your way. This time is going to be replay ID number 1648038785. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this one. It's going to be Professional Noob leading out the Radiant side on the Drow Ranger with Wathen playing the Warlock. We got Xanthus going to be on the Medusa with Flotex playing the Witch Doctor and Lumatic on the Juggernaut. Meanwhile, for the Dire team, it's going to be Wham Bam Bambi on the Gyrocopter with Russer spying on the Anti-Mage. We got Adexi going to be picking up the Pudge with 0x Killer on the Winter Wyvern and Faceless Void on the Nyx Assassin. That is a tongue twister. Try saying that 5 times fast. So this seems like it's going to be a very interesting game. It was single draft, so if the drafts look a little weird to you, that is why. For those not familiar, single draft gives you one of each. Strength, agility, and intelligence heroes. You got to choose one. That's most to your liking. Good way to learn new heroes, mind you. So if you're stuck in the trench and want to increase your hero pool, or just want to do so anyway, you can go check that mode out. It's a lot of fun. But it looks like we saw a little bit of damage coming out onto Wham Bam Bambi, though he will get away. It's a pretty big hit to his overall HP pool. And Adexi and Professional Noob will both grab the runes, and though it will be a 50-50 split on the Radiant and the Dire, it is all in the mid lane, all focused here on this mid-river matchup. So a Pudge with a little Pudgeling, mind you, going up against a Drow Ranger. I do favor the Drow in this matchup, so long as the Pudge doesn't hit any hooks. If that happens, then things get a little scary for the Lady in Blue. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Warlock and Medusa up against Anti-Mage and Wyvern. God, I hate Anti-Mage versus Medusa. It's such a good hero against her. It really sucks. Now they've got the Arctic Burnout as well, which will deal a good chunk of damage. I mean, you take a look at level 1, Wathen getting absolutely annihilated by that one Winter's Arctic Bird. And even though he's got 4 armor, he's only sitting at about sub 500 HP. So it will hit, and it will hit hard and fast. Maybe a missile coming in. Flotex trying to get rid of it, but Lumatech actually takes a good chunk of damage from it. And that's a level 1 missile, but it still hurts like a beast. Even though Lumatech has the Blade Fury, it doesn't want to spend it. I mean, it's 120 mana out of his 195 mana pool. Very difficult to deal with, very difficult to go up against. Faceless Void, though, taking a good chunk of damage from the Witch Doctor's attack. I mean, it's 4 armor. He's got 3.2 HP per second regeneration, so in the end, it doesn't really mean all that much to him. He'll just sit back and regenerate it up, but he's still got to be very careful about when it stacks up, and you've got a Paralyzing Capsule come through to follow up for a couple of kills. Professional Noob, though, he's got the Ring of Basilisk, Basti Ring, so I guess he's going for that Acolyte, which will help out his team, give him a little bit of damage. Also, now he's got a double damage rune, which is a very good chunk of damage coming out from him. What's with all these eye spells, though? I mean, the eye from the marksmanship, the Winter Wyvern has an eye for the Winter's Curse. I know Dragon Knight, one of his items gives him the eye for his Elder Dragon form. It's Warpath is also an eye. It's crazy. Anyway, a Cold Embrace coming out from 0x Killer, helping out himself, keeping his HP pool relatively high, as Wathen and Xanthus are harassing him pretty well. I mean, you don't think of Medusa as a damage dealer in the early parts of the game, but he's got the Drow Aura on him. So with that long range and the Drow Aura, he should have no trouble both CSing and absolutely ripping a new one into anyone that tries to get close to this creep wave. So that helps a little bit up against the Anti-Mage, but all in all, this game, as it starts to progress, would get very hard for the Medusa to stay in it. I mean, you take a look, when that mana shield drops down, she's got a 286 mana pool right now, but she'll build into stats. And when she's got a 2k mana pool, it gets difficult. So Adexi, meanwhile, will bring down Professional Noob, I guess living up to his name. And as we said, Pudge that finds his hooks is a Pudge that will win the lane, pretty much no matter the matchup. So getting that out in the mid, he should have a fairly decent time. He actually went for Tranquil Boots, which I can't say I back 100%, but the movement speed is definitely nothing to scoff at. We're talking about 90 movement speed, only rivaled by the Boots of Travel. So when he's not attacking, he can move, he can gank, he can have the time of his life. And of course now with a haste rune as well, Pudge's favorite thing is movement speed. So, Wham Bam Bambi, as well as Faceless Void, are doing all right here on the top lane. And you can see the CS is trading more in favor of Lumitech than it is Wham Bam Bambi, as he's sitting only at 2 CS. But Faceless Void actually in a lot of trouble. The crit comes out from Lumitech, and now the Blade Fury doesn't move up fast enough, though, but the last right click from Flowtech will come through. And the missile connects onto a creep, it looks like, as another kill for a Dexy and the mid lane, bringing down Professional Noob. And he'll make his way down towards the bottom lane as he's got that haste rune. Wadden's in a lot of trouble here. All he needs is the, Dismember hook. And that is a very, very dead Warlock. Wadden gonna be kicking himself after that one. I mean, through no fault of his own, really. It's just such a hard lane, or hard thing to go up against when you've got a hasted Pudge barreling down on you. So Dexy will reveal himself and make his way back toward the mid. Professional Noob reevaluating his life right now. I mean, he's got 380 gold. The Ring of Akala is his, but it still is looking very difficult for him. Now he's got a TP scroll. Back to the lane is him and a Dexy. I mean, he's there. He's waiting. Once Professional Noob shows up in lane, if he can find that hook, this gets very hard for the Drow once again. Right now, Adexi will just sit back, soak up some experience, try to get some farm, and that'll be just about it.
Oh, look at it go!
Up towards the top, Flowtech going in for Wham Bam Bambi. They've got the missile flying through, and it should connect on the Lunatic. He does not have his Blade Fury out right now, but the tower is actually going to bring down the missile, so not going to connect on that one. It looked like it was still a level 1 missile, yeah. A very weak missile, only has 3 hits to destroy, 6 tower hits, I guess. I've never really paid too much mind to the difference in number of hits. Always thought it was a HP thing, but you learn something new every day. So 1-3 at 6.5 minutes. By and large, a pretty slow game going on here, but Adexi, he's kind of the main thing that leads me to believe that it's not going to remain this slow. Professional Noob, CSing, I mean, he looks like he wanted that hook for a short amount of time, but he'll make his way down to the bottom lane. Maybe tries to put some pressure on this Medusa. Knows that it's a very important thing for him to do, but it'll be spotted out by an Observer Ward, so his rotation will not go unnoticed, but going unnoticed and not being able to stop it are two completely different things. I mean, Dexy, if you really want to, with the 6 armor that he's got, hold up in the top lane. Lunatic might be in a little bit of trouble. Flowtech as well. Faceless Void will grab Flowtech. Bam Bam Bambi will end up going down. Lunatic, though, will still drop at the end of it. Faceless Void will get a double kill, but Wham Bam Bambi definitely not happy about what just happened there. I mean, him dying is not overall very great. Now, oh god, Adexi. The silence doesn't last all that long of a time, and Professional Noob, in comes the Dismember. He's still got a hook, and he'll bring him back in. Adexi with a dominating spree in this game, 4-0 at 7.5 minutes. With that double kill in the top lane, even a kill happening in the bottom lane. Who is that for?
Radiant's bottom
Looks
tower
like Wadden will bring down the Winter Wyvern. So the Radiant are still keeping themselves up on the board, although they are getting doubled up by the Dire. Pudge will go for the Hood of Defiance first. So I guess going full on HP regeneration so far, as well as effective HP, getting the armor from the boots and the regeneration. I mean, he's a pretty big tank right now. It's going to be very hard to kill him. It's going to be very hard to stop him from sitting back, regenerating with near heart-like regen, and then coming right back into the fray. Once again, the Ward spotting out his rotation to the bottom lane, and just like that, Wadden and Xanthus have made their way into the jungle. But Adexi, again, with 6 armor rather, with all this HP regeneration, I don't think he really cares, but looks like he'll show up in the lane regardless, and that will be the end of story there. Professional Noob has made his way down towards the bottom too, maybe to punish a wayward Pudge, who is sitting in the jungle right now. A wraparound from the Radiant is a very risky maneuver, as they're not entirely sure the Pudge is gone just yet. He'll make his way into the side, but grabbing either one of these 2 archers, he can kill both of them. So they're actually going to walk right in. They know where he is. They knew exactly where he was, but do they kill him? I think he just turns and hooks one of them in and kills them. Turning a little bit late, though. And it looks like the Stone Gaze will stop Russell as well as Adexi from chasing this one. But he can still try to fight this. No, the silence will lock him in place for now. The Frost Arrows as well. They're bringing him down through all that flesh. They get him. Now Zero Killer on the run, but just like that, Professional Noob doesn't want to continue chasing under the tower, though he finds Russell Spine, and one more right click would be enough, but it is not. As they're taking a lot of tower damage, but we'll shift the aggro away, as well as now the Shadow Word coming in, healing him back near full
What's happening to
in this lane.
bottom tower?
Towards the top. After that, maybe they want to try to be aggressive, try to continue this sort of trend that the rest of their team have been getting going for them.
My damage redoubled.
But it looks like at the moment, hold on, Faceless Void, or Faceless Void looking for a kill. He's got Vendetta with the rocket. He's going to go out into this one. There is going to be a Omni Slash, but it's not going to be enough. Now Lunatic will stun himself on the Spike Carapace. Adexi comes in, and Lunatic, well, he is most certainly dead there. So a 2-for-1 again. Wham Bam Bambi goes down. In the meantime, the Radiant will trade away the bottom tier 1 tower, but Shirecopter definitely not having the best day right now. As 10.5 minutes in, he's sitting, what do we got? 0, 2, and 4. So, yeah, a very problematic place for him to be in right now. Pudge, though, is making up for it. He's got 4.5k net worth and is, by and large, just doing a really great job at keeping some aggression out. Throws out a hook, but won't connect on the Professional Noob. The 2 archers are just kind of running down towers as they see fit. Wham Bam Bambi coming in, but not going to make a go on this one. Instead, they'll let the tier 1 drop. And just like that, I mean, they can't really do much more about it. Faceless Void again, and his Vendetta. Looking for Flotex, but he's back far enough away, maybe not. In comes Vendetta Strike, in comes the Impale. And now Flotex should be dead. No, a Spike Carapace comes down. But it's not going to help him get the kill, and instead, it looks like Flotex is far enough away, but the Gus comes through. Professional Noob not able to find him. And once again, the 2 archers have grouped themselves up, looking to try to bring down another tier 1 tower. But Russell Spion is in the bottom lane looking for a trade. Only got the power treads as well as the poor man's shield on top of his quelling blade, so his farm is pretty slow, all things considered. But we're looking at an AM that had a really difficult time in lane, couldn't get close to it without taking a couple pot shots from both the Medusa as well as the Warlock, which is something that you really, you aren't able to sustain through if you're an anti-mage. So movement coming in, Xanthus and Professional Noob. They find Wham Bam Bambi, but the Gust will not come through on them. Now, with a call down, Wham Bam Bambi will still drop. And comes the Death Ward. They will bring down 0x Killer as well, but Adexi finds a return by bringing in Wadon and bringing him down. Faceless Void will also grab a return on the Professional Noob. So a 2-for-2 in the end. But is it really over? Adexi still looking for another hook here. All he needs to do is find either Xanthus, anyone really he would be able to kill. Will throw a hook blind into his own jungle and will not catch anyone. Meanwhile, Wrestler Spion down the bottom lane doesn't really have to worry about Xanthus, but he's worried about who might be with him. And it's for that reason he backs himself off. But Wathen will be down the bottom lane. Xanthus on the run, being joined by Wham Bam Bambi now. As maybe they look to try to bring down, or sorry, Wrestler Spion. Maybe they look to try to bring down Xanthus. And comes the missile. We'll chase him down, but not nearly fast enough to bring him down. Maybe it is. It'll catch him underneath the tier 1 tower. So, nope, it looks like they cannot continue going in on this one. Walden will make his way in, though. He's got the Chaotic Offering, so catching 2 could be very beneficial. But no Gust to fly through to silence up the Anti-Mage. Instead, Lunatic on his way into the jungle with an Omni Slash on cooldown for 50 seconds. But Walden is now caught in the middle of a very bad situation, and a Dagon out from Faceless's Void will secure the kill. Meanwhile, Lunatic was looking for something in the back lines. He'll run straight on in to Lesser Spine as well as Ram Bam Bambi. But he's being joined by Professional Noob. They try to turn. Oh, hold on. The Winter's Curse locking Professional Noob. But unfortunately, Zero Killer can't do anything with it. And now, call down. They want to bring down Lunatic. A Death Ward comes down. It's not doing enough damage. Nothing's doing anything. Oh boy, now Adexi trying to find a return kill, but he's dropping very low. The bounce is in between the creep. He won't get the denied. And now Professional Wrestler Spine comes on, looking for the Mana Void, but it's not on a target with a whole hell of a lot of mana. Juggernaut only missing about 300. None of them really missing a whole hell of a lot in total, though. I mean, yeah, at most there was 300 missing on any of their heroes. So kind of a poor situation from the start for the Anti-Mage to try to find there. So now Xanthus will push him to the bottom lane. Not joined yet by Professional Noob, though he is coming in close. And while the Dire do have a glyph to spend, I'm not totally sure how they approach this one right now, as they got to bring these guys down. They're just going to do so much damage. Now they'll come out with a Gust, and comes a Homing Missile, though, onto Xanthus, and they can continue chasing this as they see fit. The Homing Missile should hit before the Tier 1 tower is in range of Xanthus, and it looks like... No, he'll just be under range of it. So the Homing Missile connects, but Wrestler Spine doesn't want to let this one go away. As they want Professional Noob, they should get him, they will get him! And now the hook in from Adexi will lock Xanthus down, giving them both kills for relatively low cost. And so, 60 minutes in, the score being 11-14 right now. The Dire pulling themselves up with a pretty decent lead, at least in the early parts. Though the Radiant, they've got a lot of carry potential, a lot of ways to rip the Dire's lineup open. I mean, the Dire still, they don't really lose the late game is where we're at. I mean, a lot of it will come down to execution, and so far I think the teams are pretty equal in that.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Botex and Wathen making their way downtown. Adexi's scouting them, though. He wants to try to grab a hook. He wants anyone that comes in to try to defend will be hooked into the side here. And it looks very much like this Tier 1 tower will just go down, but a lot is being spent to bring it down. A lot of time commitment being used. Now teleportation comes in from Lunatic as they want to try to turn this one around. Now Chaotic Offering will come down, stuns 4 of them as the Omni Slash comes through. It's only a level 1 Omni. So when it comes to Winter's Curse, the hook will fly through, but a little bit short.
Double damage.
The line not quite on point here. So now Xanthus will chase onto Adexi, but they don't exactly have a slow, no real stun either. But the Gust will push him back, and now Professional Noob with a double damage rune will just lay into Adexi, but Wathen will be the one to get the kill. The Radiant now pulling themselves up with their solo picker of their own. And bring the score again within 2 kills. But they don't exactly push off this one. There's still a top Tier 1 tower they can bring down, as well as a whole host of Tier 2s that they can try to pressure. But last time they tried to pressure, they got punished pretty severely. So for right now, they're going to hold back a little bit. Professional Noob with that double damage. He's got a Helmet of Dominator as well as a Ring of Aquila. So not really going for that severe agility build in the early game. Instead, opting for a little bit more utility from the lifesteal and the armor from the Aquila. And meanwhile, Xanthus has no quarrels with it. He's getting a cool 36 damage from this Drow Ranger, which is pretty much a third of his total damage. And so now, maybe they can hook him. They're going to throw it. It won't connect. Meanwhile, Professional Noob finding a kill in the mid lane on to 0x Killer. And Russell Spine dropping low as a result of it. As just like that, Medusa will pick herself up the first ultimate orb. Anti-Mage skipping Battle Fury entirely just to get a Yasha out. Meanwhile, Faceless Void will bring down Professional Noob, this Drow Ranger, very susceptible to the Nyx Assassin, it seems, in this game. And now, a hook from the Dexy, maybe. It doesn't look like he throws it. Instead, the missile will fly through. And only takes 3 hits to bring down, so they have no trouble getting rid of it before it connects. Still imagine it's a level 1 missile, so it wouldn't do a whole lot of damage if it did connect anyway.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
So now Wham Bam Bam will make his way to the bottom lane. Dire will farm up their own jungle. Lesser Spine, without that Battle Fury, is not going to be able to farm camps inherently fast, though. Now with the Yasha pickup, it looks like he will make his way to the BF, and that'll help him farm a little bit quicker. A Dexy will come up, though, with Faceless Void. They're looking for any sort of kill here. Though Flotex might be the easiest of all of them. They can't grab one now as a Sentry Ward comes down. Faceless Void, though, still hunting. Doing the whole Nyx routine. So he'll come around from the back. The Sentry Ward, though, will spot him if he tries to get close. So he'll be spotted, but who's really spotting who? Lunatic just goes down. And so it looks like he's in a little bit of trouble with the spiked Carapace. It gets himself away for now. The Gust will be off the mark, but they're not going through. The Frost Arrow finally coming through. They should have enough damage to take him out. Meanwhile, they've got a hook in. No, they did not, but they get the Winter's Curse out. Unfortunately, they don't find any other kills other than the Juggernaut. And Nyx Assassin paying for it with his life. So 1-for-1 trade in the meantime.
Technical difficulties.
And the Radiant will push up to the high ground, top tier, or push up to the top tier 1 tower, rather. Wham Bam Bambi coming in with a call down now. Deals a decent sum of damage, but it's not really anything they can follow up on. And now with the Stone Gaze, Xanthus wants to turn this one around with Wathen. Do they have a Chaotic Offering? They do. So they'll drop it down. Zero Killer and Wham Bam Bambi locked in place. The first hit from the Golem, of course, is the big hit. And of course, what the hell? Gyrocopter goes down. So does 0x Killer. And a 2-0. The Radiant once again, this time equalizing the kill score. Faceless Void now hunting through. Wants to find his own solo kill. Will find Wathen. Yeah, but the Omni Slash comes through now. Spike Carapace will try to help him out. But Restless Spire backs himself away. He will survive. Faceless Void as well. But Flotex will not be. Oh, wait, Dexy is trying to run. He looks like he should be able to get away, even though the Maledict's on him. Lunatic is chasing. He might just be able to turn and throw a hook if he can get the mana for it, but not going to spend his bottle between Maledict bursts and the top tier 2 tower. Looks like it should go down. There is a glyph to spend on it, but spending a glyph on a tier 2 tower is a very risky maneuver. So now they'll have it just in case the Radiant wants to push up the high ground, but the Radiant, knowing better, will make their move down towards the mid lane and will continue to try to put map pressure on the Dire team, looking to grab another tier 2 tower, maybe get all 3, then Roche, and then think about high grounding this Dire squad. But they've also got to be careful of the anti-mage. He is getting, decently close to that Battle Fury, although he doesn't have it. He doesn't have either of the major parts of it, those being the Broadsword and the Claymore. Still, he is getting within range of it, within chomping distance. Meanwhile, Faceless Void gets spotted out in the mid lane, still in Vendetta. So if they lose vision of him, they can't do anything to him. And it looks like that's exactly the case. Underneath the Sentry Ward for only a short amount of time, they were not able to chase him down. Radiant will group up Air in the mid lane. Faceless Void with the Dagon. 30 seconds for his Vendetta to come back up. And the Radiant, so far, they're playing this one very cautiously. They're hanging back. They've got the Sentry Wards down. And it looks like they'll back themselves off for now. They're not too comfortable with this push. Instead, just waiting and watching, looking for who they can find on the map. There will be 2 revealing themselves on the top. It's Adexi and Russell Spire. So they feel a little bit more comfortable than normal with these Sentry Wards down, with 2 on the map, or at least there were 2 on the map. Now Adexi's missing once again. And perhaps they look to push once again. I can't get an accurate read on what these guys are planning to do. But with Lunatic farming, perhaps they're just trying to secure some advantage in this game or deepen whatever advantage they have. And we can take a look. Radiant, they most certainly have a golden experience lead. Yeah, gold about 3,000. Experience, okay. It's about equilibrium. So the Dire, they had one for a short amount of time, but now they've pretty much lost it. They're gaining it once again. The Faceless Void, he might be able to find another solo pick off here. But he's walking smack dab in the middle of 3. His Vendetta will run out. He'll go for the dagger, but doesn't have quite enough mana. Now with the Chaotic Offering, they'll drop 2 of them very, very low. But can they actually bring them down? Blade Omni Slash will come through. They will get 2. They actually get 3 as the Winter Wyvern will die behind the lines to the Juggernaut. That's interesting. Meanwhile, Xanthus will find the bottom tier 2 tower all on his lonesome. And he will be able to finish up his Yasha as well because of that. Now the Radiant will make their way into mid with 3 dead. They're not feeling any pressure. At least Professional Noob has shown up here, but he'll back himself off as there are no creeps. Only the Golem pushing on into this one. Actually, the Golem doing a pretty decent sum of damage, but unfortunately, not quite enough. So with the creeps now moved in, back to protection down, the damage should be real on this tower, and it looks like it very much is. You can see them chunking it down each time for a huge amount of its HP pool, and they won't actually bring it down. Though Hook Cut flies out, they'll bring back Professional Noob, but he's in Shadow Blade. They cannot continue chasing on him. Meanwhile, Roshko is going down. Russell's Spion. Can't tell if he's really able to steal this one, as it looks like not. We'll have to see. Yeah, so Juggernaut will go in. He'll get the Aegis immediately. Now Russell's Spion might be in a little bit of trouble. He tries to blink himself out of there. We'll get the blink up. Now with a Dismember as well as a Winter Curse. Lunatic could be in a little bit of trouble, but who's really in trouble? Yeah, it's most definitely Lunatic. He is back behind the lines. His Aegis will get popped. Rotex without any mana to do anything in this one. Lunatic is back, but what has he got to fight with 20 seconds before he's able to Omni Slash? It looks very much like he's dead, but he'll bring down 1 for a trouble. And now in comes Xanthus as well as Wathen, bringing 2 further down. And Wham Bam Bambi, well, he'll drop as well. And Professional Noob and Xanthus as well as Wathen, they're all hitting for a good chunk of damage, all thanks to this Drow Aura. Who she will be going for a Yasha as well, giving her even more agility in this game, and allowing her to just be that much more potent.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
So the mid tier 2 will drop. Xanthus as well as Professional Noob, they haven't stopped just yet, as they make a bid for the high ground right now. 13 seconds on the Anti-Mage, 10 on the Pudge, 10 on the Gyrocopter. They just bring down this tier 3 tower, and they're actually chunking it down super fast. It looks like they should be able to get it. Professional Noob taking a lot of damage from the Vendetta Strike. He'll get brought down. Xanthus now with the tier 3 tower takedown. They go for the Dismember. The hook back in, but he had that at Lincoln Sphere, so the Dismember didn't connect. He's actually got a whole sum of HP right now that he's not really being burned through. The Rot's slowing him, but the rest of Xanthus' team is coming. Now Wathen's in close by. In comes the Paralyzing Casco. Bounce between the 2 of them now with the Chaotic Offering. And Dexy a little bit too far forward. And Faceless Void now on the run. No Vendetta for 20 seconds, but it looks like he might be a little bit too fast. No, the Omni Slash. They'll bring him down. So the only one missing from this picture is the Drow Ranger. Professional Lou will be back up in 10 seconds to give her carries damage once again, or give all of us of our ranged heroes damage once again. The Winter's Curse comes out onto the Golem. Now with a Stone Gaze, not really accomplishing all that much. But now Xanthus and Lunatic laying into this mid-Rax. And they might even be able to find more here as Lunatic. 90 mana and 90 seconds rather before he can go and do his Omni Slash. Doesn't even need it. Goes for it with a Blade Fury to zone off. And with Drow Ranger back in, now Medusa's hitting very, very hard. And Russell Spion actually getting himself away from this one just barely. Wham Bam Bambi. Not, okay, just about as lucky getting himself away as well. Just barely. Dexy looking for that last final hook to try to pull them when the Medusa back in. Maybe they can find a kill, but he wasn't able to connect it. Didn't even end up throwing it. Xanthus will now go after the creeps. What damage he can do is what he'll do. Russell Spion looking for his creeps, but he can't find it. He doesn't even have Battle Fury yet. He's about 100 gold away, and this is why what Xanthus is doing is very problematic for him. I mean, he can find the Medusa, but what is he really going to do? He's actually draining a lot of the mana, but you can't man-fight the Medusa, not yet, at least. So it looks like Medusa will get herself away, but that's a lot of mana that she's missing off that one. Let's be incredibly careful of the Anti-Mage for that reason. She's got 2,000 gold, though, and her bank account. Anti-Mage finally getting his Battle Fury at 28 minutes into the game with the Yasha Treads to his name. Now he's got to get that Manta style out almost immediately, or bringing down this Medusa is going to be nigh impossible. Now pushing again from the mid lane, through the mid lane from the Radiant. But the top lane is the one that's actually pushing out. Meanwhile, Professional Noob is still trying to farm up, getting what intelligence or what agility he can to continue buffing up his teammates here, as he's now giving 52 extra damage to everyone. Lumatech is going to spy Russell Spire, but they pop the Omni Slash. Doesn't end up lasting all that long, as he's able to blink himself away from that. Now faces this Void, looking for Wadan. The Vendetta Strike has ended. He's trying to find the Impale, but not able to get it. Now walks his way right into Xanthus and Lumatech, but the paralyzing, or sorry, the Spike Carapace will not last long enough for Lumatech's attack. Xanthus is just laying up and being the large and in charge Medusa he is. As Drow will slowly but surely push into the bottom lane with a creep or courier going to the side shop. If he wants to go pure stats, he'd go Sanjin Yasha. But yeah, I mean, God, the item like Sanjin Yasha gives stats to everything. It's his Eye of Scotty. And with that Ultimate Orb, it almost guarantees that he's going to be going for that right here. Meanwhile, Juggernaut will be going for a Battle Fury of his own. And considering his farm, he's actually not that far ahead of Anti-Mage. Yeah, he's only about 1,000 gold ahead of the Anti-Mage, so a slow Battle Fury for him as well, I guess. He will pop in the Blade Fury, though. They're looking for Wham Bam Bambi. That is a very dead Gyrocopter. One of the lowest in the board with 5k net worth. And now if Aegis' Void is actually underneath the Sentry Ward, he'll get brought down immediately. Will bring down Flotex, but that is a Death Ward on cooldown, so it doesn't really matter that Flotex is gone. Aegis' Void will make his way back into this one via buyback. And Zero Killer, X-Killer, looking to try to run away. Xanthus will come in, Chaotic Offering, and now Xanthus dealing some split-up damage. Not able to bring anyone down just yet. Now he's diving pretty heavily in. Will now go after the Tier 3 top. As a Dire, they have to find a way to try to fight this one, but really it's becoming very difficult for them. I almost imagine Precision Aura might get popped too to help these waves continue to push in, but Drow hitting for 310 damage. Medusa hitting for 210 damage. Just a whole hell of a lot. I mean, Warlock hitting for 160 damage. I mean, 170 more like. This is a killer amount of damage coming out from all three ranged heroes. And now with 2 sets of racks gone, they could even look to push out a third. But they'll back themselves off. Maybe. No, I think. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is here. Phases Void, though, might spot Professional Noob. In fact, he will. This is most certainly a kill for him if he can, out with the Vendetta, out with the Impale, Mana Burn, lots of damage. Needs one more attack and will get it off. So Faces Void will get a nice little bounty off of the Drow Ranger. 1,040 gold for a regular kill. As Xanthus now running into this one. He's got the Stone Gaze and will connect in a Zero Killer. He'll bring him down because of that. Russell Spine on the run. Bambi also getting hit by the Stone Gaze. The hook will fly through as a Death Ward now out. At Dexy, Xanthus actually out of mana, but doesn't even matter. As it looks like Xanthus now with a Butterfly coming out. Even though Drow Ranger is dead, Xanthus still getting a decent sum of damage off of this game. And they'll make their way after the bottom tier 3 tower. The backdoor protection is down, but they want to have creeps to tank the full first of the tower itself. And so they'll let it go forward. Meanwhile, Medusa will complete her Battle Fury and send it out to her at her earliest convenience. And comes Faces' Void. Wants to go into Lumatech. Will bring him down. This next assassin doing a whole hell of a lot of damage. But unfortunately, it isn't quite enough. I mean, single target damage is great, but you've got an entire team to deal with. Not a lot to deal with it. The Witch Doctor will actually face this as Void. Will go down in the back lines. Not entirely sure how that works. Potentially to the Maledict. We can take a look here, and it looks like Witch Doctor Where is Nyx Assassin? Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Nyx Assassin loses Fatal. Okay, so Fatal Bonds and Maledict. Dealing a lot of damage. The Maledict is actually what killed him. 103 damage. But it was also a lot of Fatal Bonds to hit onto him as well. So lots of just straight up damage coming out to him. And overall, I mean, that's not great. If you dying like that just really, really hurts. So Tier 3 bottom will stand, if only briefly, as Drow Ranger once again back in the fray, still giving now 64 damage with an Ogre Club to her name for some extra tankiness. Does she still have the Ultimate Orb on the Courier? It looks like not, and perhaps she sold it? Gave it away, and I mean, or it was probably her Manta style. Whatever. I'm completely losing it. That was most definitely her Manta style. So now with an Ogre Club, I imagine that could very well be a Silver Edge, either that or a Sanj and Yasha, whichever the case. The Radiant are now pushing once again in towards the bottom lane. They got Xanthus and Professional Noob. The dynamic duo, the two archers, going to make short work of these buildings. I mean, the Dire are far away. They might even get Mega Creeps here without even realizing what's happening, and that seems to be very much the case. There is a glyph to spend, but they will pop it with very little people in vicinity to try and defend against this one. The melee creeps, the melee racks just goes down. The range racks could also drop very shortly, but Xanthus with the split shot is getting rid of the creeps in the meantime. The mega creeps are coming through. And even though Professional Noob goes down, that's difficult to fight. So now, in 15 seconds, our first wave of mega creeps shall spawn in this game. And the Radiant are just looking gimped beyond belief. Or the Dire, rather, looking gimped beyond belief. Turn around, Omni Slash, Lunatic will find a kill where there may not have been one. And here we go. The blue swords, the blue hats, the green bodies, they will push. They fear nothing. They smell your own fear. And yeah, you know, if I were Drow, I'd be pretty salty about that too. So it looks like, just like that, 35 minutes in, and I think the Radiant very much have won this game. Well played to the Dire. Unfortunately, only one can win in the Battle of the Ancients. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the game and you want to follow me, there are many places to do so. The primary one being in the top right-hand side of your screen as you're watching this one. Aside from that, you can check the description of this video if you want your own replay casted, or go check out dotacasters.com, where as of the recording of this video, it has been on construction, but if it is away, if it is up and running, I do strongly recommend you check it out for all of your replay and live Dota casted needs. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. That is it for this game, for the Golden Aegis Cast Series. I'm Chicago Ted. We'll catch you all next time.